Hello, my name is Luby, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. We're back. I know I said I'd be back really quick, but it's been a week since I recorded the last one. Some unexpected things hit me. Anyway, today's episode, I'm not drinking a bottle of water. I have like a gallon of fruit juicy red Hawaiian punch on my desk, and I'm just gonna be drinking this thing throughout this episode. Alright. I had trouble getting sleep that night, so the next morning finds me exceptionally groggy. I briefly consider skipping class, but remind myself that I was supposed to be a stronger person now. I get up like a good boy, and put on my uniform, then make my way to the main school building without eating breakfast. I sit in my seat in classroom 3-3, waving a greeting to Misha and Shizune, like I do every morning, and let the day wash over me. The afternoon classes are always longer than those in the morning. This is true regardless of whether I count it by the minute or by the number of doodles drawn in my notebooks. Today I'm especially distracted as I keep thinking about Rin. Did I manage to properly tell her that I want to get better? Did she understand a word of what I was saying? I think about the kiss we shared and what it means. She was so out of her mind, maybe it means nothing. But we've been getting closer lately. What does that mean? I think about Rin more and more nowadays, and I wonder if she thinks about me. The ringing of bells makes me flinch, and then realize that I haven't been paying attention during the latter half of class at all. I look at the assortment of sketches traveling up and down the margins of my notebook, the only thing I got done in the last hour. Feeling vaguely disappointed in myself, I pack up and get to the hallway. Rin is standing right outside the door, her presence stopping me in my tracks as soon as I spot her. Her posture is relaxed as always, but I suddenly feel like I just ate a crowbar. I'm having a hard time meeting her gaze. She doesn't seem to have any trouble looking at me, but those dark eyes are making me feel flustered for no reason. Buddy, I don't think it's for no reason. It's hard to look straight at her, so I turn my face away a little. I don't know what one should say in this kind of situation. Then again, I rarely know what to say to Rin in any given situation. Hi. Hello. I try to get rid of the awkwardness in my voice and invoke a more natural way of speaking. I suddenly worry about where I should put my hands. It feels like I'm in the way somehow. How are you feeling? You were pretty out of it yesterday. I'm okay. What do you mean yesterday? You don't remember? She tilts her head to the side like a bird, looking somewhat confused. That's an amazing sprite. Remember what? I have a pretty bad memory. About yesterday. What about yesterday? I came to see you and I don't remember that kind of thing happening. She really doesn't remember? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel disheartened all the same. I remember that I promised to show you one place, though. Did that happen for real? Maybe I just think that I remember that, and I really don't. No, that was real too. Okay. Do you want to go? Now? Yeah. Well, sure, why not? Is it far? It's not. Together we walk downstairs and then outside. The usual summer day, wearing cicadas and all, greets us. It's immensely hot, and without the air conditioning the classrooms offer, I start sweating immediately. We start along the tree-lined pathway that leads towards dorms. The cherry trees offer shade, with the sunlight blinking through the holes in the canopy. The light creates a chaotic pattern of shadows, dappled with bright places where the beams hit the pavement. Rin's eyes are wandering in every direction but mine. I get the feeling that it's intentional. She leads me to the black gate, the back gate once again, taking us through and into the forest beyond. As before, the dropping temperature and the drastically reduced levels of light make it feel like the forest is swallowing us into its cavernous belly. We head uphill along the same path as last time, sneaking around trees and boulders, over roots and rocks past wild undergrowth. Birds sing somewhere in the woods, soloists for the humming background music of the treetops. Very descriptive today, Hasao. We go past a small clearing at the big maple that's now called the Worry Tree. The climb steepens, then becomes easier again. I have to stop a few times to catch my breath, then hurry after Rin, who doesn't stop to wait for me. Soon I'm out of breath again. Suddenly the trees end and we emerge from the forest, the boundary of the woods sharp and abrupt, as though a line had been drawn to mark it. The hill continues to climb up a little further ahead, but from here to the top it's a rocky meadow. Patches of grass and small bushes look like they are growing straight from the rock. We soon reach the highest point, with the forest behind us and the view to every direction opening in front of our eyes. The city lies far below and away, lazily reveling in the quiet afternoon mood. You can see pretty far from here, and the vista's beautiful. I wonder how high up we are. I breathe the fresh air and feel my heart rate slowly going back down. I think I might have overdone it a bit. A higher pulse is dangerous for me. I'm feeling fine right now, though. The wind picks up, ruffling my hair and causing the trees below us to sway. It makes the grass undulate in waves as the breeze sweeps across the hilltop. Sun shines from the open skies upon us, a few clouds passing by to shadow it. What was painful heat before is now gentle warmth. I take a good look around. The hilltop is pretty in the way nature often is, unplanned harmony found in the natural arrangement of things. The most striking feature is the abundance of small yellow flowers. They're literally everywhere in this small meadow. I can't help commenting on it. Wow, a lot of flowers. Yeah, do you know this kind? They will fly away. Yeah, dandelions. There's not many of them at the school because they cut the grass so often. Nobody cuts grass up here. The fragile-looking flowers will soon turn white and fluffy like cotton, and the wind will carry their seeds away. I crouch down and look at one tiny yellow flower, silently basking in the sunlight. There's not a hint of white yet, so it's still waiting for its time to be fulfilled. I brush my fingers against the delicate yellow petals, feel the soft texture in my fingertips. It feels nostalgic somehow. I hear Rin approaching from behind and stand back up to face her. She has a weird look on her face. Something on your mind? I don't know, it's just... You just look so sad all the time, you become upset so easily, and it makes you confused, and I really don't remember much about yesterday, except that you came to my room, and that's why it might be because of me. So if it's because of me, I think that I might know why, because people don't really like talking to me, and it might be the same, and that would be sad. I know that people, and I'm talking about others that, too, always say that I'm strange, that I talk strange things, so I thought I'd try not to say strange things, but that just makes me think more new and strange and colorful, and that was not a good word, but maybe you can understand anyway, an odd thing, so if I want to say something, I don't really know how, and then the words are not the same as the thoughts, because something goes wrong on the way out, but it's not like the thoughts are really the thing I should be saying, it's more like the idea of the thought, or the feeling of the idea of the feeling was not really any of those either, because there's no word for it unless I find a new one, which is not really useful, so I've been thinking about doing things better than saying, so maybe because yesterday I took those pills and I was feeling a little strange, I might have done something that I shouldn't have. Besides, I don't even know what would be any better if I could just see this out there. There's no telepathy, that's real telepathy, isn't there? I thought it could be terrible and useful at the same time, or now I wouldn't mind because misunderstanding is so easy, but understanding is not, and I thought, I grasp her shoulder and squeeze hard to make her stop. I don't have the capacity to take all that in at once. Oh. Rin shuts up instantly. Take a breath. I did, like halfway through that. I'm not upset. Why would I be? I'm just a little confused, but it's alright. I wonder if I was making a face she doesn't like again. I guess I've been thinking about yesterday all the time. Maybe I looked weird. I wish I had a mirror with me at all times. No need to get it all said at once. I'll listen, even if you talk slower. It just came out. Sorry, I'm okay now. I just wanted to say something. I didn't mean that much. It's weird, isn't it? She looks at me with a surprisingly timid expression, one that I haven't seen before. I can't help but laugh a little. Oh. Yeah, it's weird. You are a pretty weird person, but there's nothing wrong with that. Thanks for being worried about me, but I'm gonna get better. I told you that yesterday, but I guess you don't remember that either. I don't. I wonder what else I forgot. Hopefully nothing important like my own name. That'd be terrible. Well, you kissed me. I did? Yeah, you did. On the lips. I try to sound as matter of fact as I can, but I worry that I might be blushing again. Did you kick me? No, why would I do that? Then it's all good, right? It's okay, right? I didn't forget my name. Yeah, it's okay. I wish I was more suave so I could come up with a better follow-up to that, but nothing comes to mind. It's a good thing that Rin has more to say. It makes me feel relieved somehow. I think I should say sorry. I'm really bad with people. Some things are hard to understand, like jellyfish. Do you understand jellyfish? I guess not. People are like jellyfish to me. I don't understand. Now it's her turn to make a face I don't really like seeing. I've never really had friends. I think you can hear the cogs in my brain moving. Because when she says had, I'm more of a has situation. Sure. Nah, I'm your friend, for one. I mean, Think about it. We already talk a lot to each other, and we've even gotten upset at each other and then forgiven the other for it. That's what they call friendship. It's really nice of you to say that. I've always been able to tell everything to pencils and paints and paper. They're my best friends. It's harder with people. I have to use words, and that's hard for me. Yeah, I know. You told me about how you forget. Rin nods me wordlessly, and I dare to attempt showing her a little encouraging smile. I hope I do it properly. She doesn't reply in any way. I feel really glad. The distance Rin puts between herself and everything else has made me feel really uneasy ever since I met her. If we become real friends, I'm sure I can understand her more. I'm sure this way we can close the gap of understanding between us. My thoughts don't transmit to Rin. She seems lost deep in thought, wandering amidst the sea of yellow flowers covering the grassy hilltop. It's just as well. Time passes, the breeze making the taller grass sway gently in time with the wind. Rin hums a little song to herself so quietly that I can't tell what it is, if it's even anything at all. A stronger gust sweeps over the hilltop, and the sound of the trees and the wind buries the song away. I check my watch, more out of habit more than anything else. It's 4:30 right now, on this Saturday afternoon. Rin looks into the distant horizon with that odd, blank stare of hers, as if she were still looking at nothing at all. Her pupils are dark and quiet like a pair of deep, still ponds. You are going to become better, right? Sure. Me too, you know. I'm gonna talk to that friend of the teacher and ask her to put my stuff in her place and work hard to get all that done. I decided that just now, you know, but I think I knew it all along. I've had this feeling for a long time now, that I'm gonna change, even if I hate it and don't want it. Even if I wanted to, I would change. Like, I am not enough the way I am. I think this could be a good way to do it, because it's like a straight line. Like I've learned all the things in my life so far, just for this. It's just art, and it's the only thing I really know. I know what I'm gonna do, so it's good. I'm not afraid at all. I feel like I always do. Is that weird? No, not at all. I close my eyes and give in to the irresistible sensation that has been growing inside me all week long. I float up towards the surface of my own life. The pressure of being underwater slowly diminishes, the weightless sensation becomes stronger. I break the surface of the water, lifting my head into the sunlight and inhale deeply, breathing in fresh air as if not for the first time in a long, long while. My lungs fill with oxygen, and I open my eyes to see Rin's peaceful, determined face. We walk down the slope carefully and slowly to avoid falling down, Rin in the lead and me a few steps behind. Rin surely can do this. Even if she can't, she's gonna pull through. I'm sure that I can keep my head above water too, from now on. The sun sets behind our backs, setting the world ablaze in its orange glow. I keep watching the back of the red-headed girl descending the path a few steps ahead of me. If it's only this much, this distance between us is definitely within my reach. Act 3. Distance. Great scene, but I have to mention there's a bird like outside of my room that's doing like the first 2 seconds of like the Cricket wireless like ringtone, and it's kind of driving me insane. Anyway, I asked you a question, Nakai. I shake my head to fend off the dazedness. The teacher's looking at me as is everyone else in the class. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What's the distance between... Never mind, different question. Why are you here, in this class? To, learn about physics? Yes, well, no, but that's the answer I wanted to hear. To acquire knowledge is a secondary reason for you being in the school. The primary one is to learn the rules of society, the norms and ethics that govern your everyday life. You don't come to school for the classes, you come to interact with the other people there, your classmates who are your equals, and the teachers who are your superiors. You learn how to form social contacts and maintain them. In other words, how to be a part of society. The school itself is a microcosm of the entire society. Locke was the one who realized that, you know. School's not just a place for learning, and of all the kids your age, you guys should know that better than anyone else. He pauses for a moment and lets his eyes sweep over the class to see if the message sunk in. At the very least, it shut everyone up and got them to focus on him, captivated either by his voice or the sudden change of topic from physics to the philosophy of education. However, my classes, as he so aptly put, are a place for learning about physics. He points me with a piece of chalk he's holding. So, no sleeping during class. Got it, Nakai? Yes, sir. In the corner of my eye, I catch Shizune's scowl and Misha's barely contained giggle. I sink deeper into my seat. After classes end, I'm the last one to leave the classroom. I close the door behind me and quietly make my way to the art room. Club time passes in relative peace and quiet. I sit in my usual seat next to Rin, but she doesn't seem to be in a talkative mood. That was a slam of the gallon of Hawaiian Punch Red. She's even more distant than usual. Today, we're going to draw still life and get to choose from either a vase full of fake flowers or an arrangement of rocks, sticks, and canvas. The teacher encourages us to gather around the preferred motif, emphasizing perspective, texture, and lighting as the key points of this exercise. I look at Rin to see if she prefers one of the subjects over the other, but she just tilts her head, signifying nothing. The club members quickly shuffle their chairs around the classroom to get closer to either the vase or the clutter. Rin and I both picked up a flower vase, but only one of us seems to do any work. She's ignoring Nomiya's assignment, just like she suddenly started ignoring me, and has begun doodling something idly with her foot, not really even looking at what she's drawing. I try to catch her gaze, but she's looking out the window. It's making me uneasy. Rin almost looks like she's asleep with the way she's leaning back against the chair, with her legs resting easily on the deck. She's now completely given up on the drawing. The more I try to relax, ignore her, and just be myself, the more it feels like I should ask if something's wrong. After club activities are over and others have filed out, Rin gets up from her seat and marches over to Nomiya with unusual determination. I will do it. Nomiya, who was humming to himself while sorting a box of pencils by hardness, turns around with a mixed expression of friendliness and incomprehension on his face. What will you do, my girl? The gallery person. I can talk with that person. At least, yesterday I thought I could. And today, too. I think. I want to try it. I'm gonna go all the way. The widest smile I've ever seen on any person's face lights up the teacher's features. He's almost literally beaming.
Oh, wonderful! I'd almost lost hope. Such a hard-headed girl you are, but I knew that sooner or later you'd understand as well. I will call my good friend Sayonji and arrange a meeting. You'll need to show her your work so you can estimate it. I've told her about you, but obviously you should talk face to face. This is so exciting, isn't it?
Nomiya is talking more to himself than to us and walking in circles around his desk, waving his hands around wildly all the while. He picks up his cell phone from the breast pocket of his jacket and flips it open with a stylish movement, starting to look for the number to call. While he searches, he notices me staring and gives me a beaming thumbs up. I shrug back at him, doing my best to not look smug. Nomiya finds the number and makes the call, turning away from us and lowering his voice once it goes through. Even so, I can hear his excited tone. The call doesn't last long.
Fabulous! Sai is at the gallery right now, and she said we could stop by right away if that's fine. This is most excellent.
Do you have some kind of portfolio to show, Rin? She just shakes her head at the question.
Never fear, I've taken some photos of your paintings. We can bring those and maybe a couple originals with us. Those will be quite sufficient for now. There should be some recent ones around here in the back, right?
He pulls out a folder full of photos out of his desk drawer, then charges towards the back where there's a small storage room and extra cabinets for all the materials and tools the art classes and club use. He soon finds what he was looking for and crudely wraps 2 of Rin's paintings in some brown packing paper.
Nakai, would you carry these to my car?
I pick up the 2 oil paintings. They aren't heavy, but they do make navigation somewhat cumbersome as I follow Nomiya and Rin to the parking lot. Nomiya has a pretty nice car, not something I expect a high school teacher to drive. I wonder what kind of salaries they earn at Yamaku. This is our first time in the parking lot, wow. The canvases are stuffed into the trunk where they just barely fit. At the teacher's overenthusiastic prompting, I get in the car along with them. Rin answers my questioning stare with a confirming nod and a nonchalant shrug. I guess I've become sort of an assistant for her now. Nomiya doesn't go light on the pedal. The smooth ride takes just about 10 minutes to bring us to the city center, where we pull into a tiny parking lot and get out of the car. I pick up the paintings again, looking around. It's just like any city in Japan, really. Same style of buildings, people hurrying here and there, office workers sweating in their suits in the summer heat. Wide, tree-lined streets aren't something you see everywhere, though. Maybe they are this city's specialty. It definitely has that feel of a city, which I thought I'd already forgotten. I feel immediately comfortable walking around. I haven't actually been here before.
No? In that case, it's about time. It's a great city, lots of wonderful folk around here. And most important of all, a vibrant cultural life. Sai's place is just around the corner.
After turning around 3 more corners, Nomiya stops in front of a door. There's a nameplate in big red letters over it. 22nd corner. Is this really the 22nd corner?
Of what?
That's bothering me too. I mean, where to start counting and which way do you count? Rin gets worked up over the strangest things. Unlike me, Nomiya ignores her completely and pushes the door open. The gallery is very clean looking and the air conditioning makes it cool and very comfortable. The white walls and big windows facing onto the busy street make the whole place feel airy and bright. There's nobody around whom I can see, however. Most of the floor space is empty, with only a few large tables and a counter for furniture. There are paintings too, of course. A poster advertises an exhibition for an artist I've never heard of. Most of his work seem to be portraits or landscapes done in a more traditional style than Rin's abstraction. Jeez, we're getting all new stuff, man. New locations, new sprites, new characters. I mean, the new sprites are the same as the new characters, but... Summoned by the bell on the door, the lady who looks maybe around Nomiya's age comes around a corner. She's dressed in a sharp suit, her straight dark hair in a perfect ponytail behind her head. A pair of flashy, expensive-looking eyeglasses frame her eyes. On second glance, I'm not so sure of her age anymore. She looks old, and yet not actually old.
Sai, hello!
She clearly recognizes the teacher, greeting him warmly. Oh, there you are, Shinichi, and so quickly. I take it that these two are your students?
Indeed, let me introduce you. This is Rin Tezuka, the one I spoke to you about, and the healthy-looking lad over there is Hisao Nakai.
She takes a long, hard look at both of us, especially Rin. It feels like we're being evaluated, that a worth of some abstract kind is being calculated for us. Her eyes linger for a long time on Rin, on her eyes, her empty sleeves tied in knots, her posture. Sai takes her first impression of Rin with an intensity I've not seen used by anyone else before. Once finished, she smiles amiably. Pleased to meet you both. My name is Sai Sayonji, and I'm the owner of this gallery. Could I maybe offer you some tea?
Oh, no, thank you, we're fine. Let's get down to business.
I lay the paintings on a tabletop to give the gallery owner a better view, and Nomiya pulls out a folder of photos. The old lady studies Rin's works carefully, absent-mindedly brushing her cheek with her fingers while letting her gaze sweep over the paintings. Her eyes remind me of a bird of prey of some sort. They're so sharp and somehow very calculating. She takes her time, slowly going over the paintings in order without uttering a single word. Even the teacher looks very nervous. He tries to point out certain details and other things about Rin's work, but it seems like she's just not listening. While Nomiya and I keep looking at Sai, trying to look for some hint of a reaction on the gallery owner's face, Rin lets her gaze wander around the gallery space. Suddenly, she pipes up. Is this really the 22nd corner? Sai raises her gaze from the paintings to look at Rin, but doesn't answer. It's probably for the best. She takes stock of Rin's slouchy posture and her dreamy eyes that are again moving restlessly about. The way Rin seems to be detached from a situation that's supposed to be very important for her annoys me just a little. I'm practically holding my breath here. After Sai has gone through all of Nomiya's photos and inspected 2 oil paintings I hauled here, she goes through all the material again, this time at a quicker pace. Finally, she gives her verdict. I like it. Though if you don't mind me saying, you're still a bit immature. Searching for your own direction, perhaps? She picks up one of the photos. Still, just look at this. I just can't take my eyes off it. Like a little kitten playing around. That's what your art makes me feel, young lady. Thank you, I think. Nobody's ever said that before, I think. That's all that Rin has to say. Something about what the gallery owner says and how she says it makes it sound patronizing to me, but I hold my tongue.
Anyway, what a wonderful imagination, though, isn't it? I've always said that Tezuka has great eye for composition and color harmony. And technique! Remember, all these are done with her feet. Of course, we need to put some of the simpler ones on display, too, for the lay people. Right, Sai?
The teacher snorts derisively.
You know how those Philistines are. What do they understand about real art? They'd just be at the loss with the abstractions and themes here. But it'll generate more publicity, and that's good, isn't it?
Sai smiles gently at Nomiya's remark and turns back to the paintings. I wonder... To tell you the truth, I just don't know if all this makes an exhibition. Even if I like it, I don't get the feel of a theme, of cohesion. There's no And really, who would expect such from a young artist like the kitten here?
Oh, no, no. It's definitely doable, especially if we get a few new pieces and touch up some old ones.
I don't mind painting more. I'll do anything. It's a bit of a stretch.
Trust me. No, trust me. I wouldn't have come to you if I didn't believe Tezuka was ready. You can see it too, can't you? I know exactly what her kind is capable of, and you know too.
Those words give the gallerist lady a pause. A hollow, bottomless look takes over her eyes for a moment, as if she was looking through or maybe past Nomiya. She says nothing, but her mouth becomes a tight, flat line, as if stretched. Finally, the moment passes. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Sai sighs and takes a few steps, walking in a circle as if to help organize her thoughts. She takes another look at the photo of the painting she particularly liked, the one that made her recall Rin a kitten. She places her hand over her mouth, lost for words. After a few moments, she shakes her head. I don't know what to say. After seeing you, dear, and these paintings of yours, would you excuse us for a moment? I want to talk to your teacher in private for a bit. Sai draws the art teacher aside, and they talk in hushed tones for a while. I can't hear what they're saying, but over her shoulder I can see the lines around the corner of her mouth tighten as she motions her... Oh, I'm slipping so much. As she motions with her hands in time with her words. The expression on her face is... What kind of expression is it? I couldn't say. Once they're done discussing whatever they had to discuss, they give one another a serious look. I feel something that goes beyond mere words transpiring there. They walk back to us. Sai looks seriously at Rin, her left hand reaching as if instinctively towards a pack of cigarettes that's lying on the table. She picks the pack up and extracts one, looks at it absent-mindedly as if only now realizing she did so, and puts it back. Finally, she locks eyes with Rin, evaluating her once more. All right, little kitten. I'm going to believe in you. I will display your paintings in here, but from what I can see, this is not enough. You don't really have a cohesive theme, and you don't have enough of the good stuff. You're gonna have to work hard to actually get something that we can put on exhibit here. I know. It's a good thing my gallery is so small, no? Rin already spends pretty much every free wake moment she has painting. How is it possible to work any harder? She'd have to skip classes to do more than she already does, and how can anyone work that much? Silence falls in the gallery after my words. Sai looks at the art teacher, who is looking contemplatively at her star student. At his star student. I look at all three of them, confused.
It's doable.
What do you mean?
I mean, the school is special. The board puts great value on things such as this. I'm sure I could arrange some leave for her. It's not unprecedented by any means. I'll discuss it with her parents too, but they've been quite supportive. However, it might be a bit of a stretch to get a working space for her at the school if she's not actually going to attend classes. Actually, I was just thinking about this before. Do you use the place upstairs for anything?
No, I don't. Haven't since back then. It's more like a landfill than an atelier now. Upstairs? I own a small atelier apartment up on the top floor of this building, but as it hasn't been in use for... Goodness, it's been so long, hasn't it? Her eyes leap to Nomiya, who has a strange, muted expression on his face.
Indeed. Do you think...
Even Nomiya in all his brashness has trouble coming straight out with the question. Sai, of course, sees through him and throws up her hands, sighing deeply. I guess I can't say no, can I? Very well, I'll lend you the use of that place as well, if needed. It's not like I really use it.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Don't celebrate yet. It really is a mess, so don't be shocked when you first see it. However, you can use it as you see fit. Since it's an atelier, it already has easels and things like that. You'll only need your own tools and materials to somehow clean it up a bit. It's not habitable, though, so I can't let you live there. I doubt your school or parents would allow that in any case. Okay. However, it's convenient to crash there overnight if necessary. I wouldn't mind.
Ha ha! Most excellent, isn't it, Tezuka?
He enthusiastically pats Rin on the shoulder, laughing in relief and happiness as if all this good fortune landed on him personally. Sai smiles as well, perhaps more amused by the old teacher's glee than anything else. Oh dear, Shinichi, this really is like back then. I'm sure we all haven't bitten off more than we can chew. She looks at Rin, who seems to be oddly subdued despite all this. I hope it'll be worth it, kitten. She holds out her hand as to shake Rin's, but realizes the impossibility and quickly moves to pat her on the shoulder. Rin looks back at her silently, her eyes serious and impenetrable like the dark of the night. Okay, so... little weird. Rin's leaving school, technically, and now she's going to be working her ass off to get a whole exhibition going. But anyway, that's all the time I have for now. Ooh, we're in arc. I keep slipping over my own words. I think it might be the Hawaiian Punch Red. I think that's what's tripping me off. But now we're in Act 3 of Rin's story, and we might have had a kiss there, but nothing romantic, I'd say, still has happened. It kind of... I don't know, I'm used to having, like, the end of Act 2 being where the romance part starts, and I think it's been like that for every route. I think. Maybe not Hanako's. Probably. But either way, I'm excited to see what happens next. And I'll see you then. Peace.